Well, hello all you wonderful people out there in YouTube land, and welcome to the Texas Special YouTube channel. And for this week's Scale product review, we're going to take a look at this MTH number 20-95006 MAERSK Husky Stack Car, number 100052. Now, as I said, this is a MTH Premier model, so that means that this is a scale freight car. This is a 1 48-inch scale freight car. The difference is this is going to have a lot more detail and be a more proportional, scale proportional size to the prototype than an 027, which is your traditional train set type freight car, or a standard O, which is close to scale proportion and has more detail than a regular 027 car, but not quite as much as a standard a scale freight car would. So this car actually belongs to Mr. Ethan Tate of the Texas Model Railroad Club. Yes, this is a loaner, and it's a really cool freight car. It's supposed to have two MAERSK stacks that match. Unfortunately, he was only able to get this. Got this car used, and it only had the one stack or one container. All of the lettering on the container is correct. All of the lettering and car data information on the car is correct. You have the 48, 45, 40, and double 20 markings on the car, on both ends of the car, as you would expect to see on the prototype. While this is a scale freight car, this is not detailed to the same standard as my Lionel double stacks are, but it's still a really good looking car. It's got the correct 125 ton roller bearing trucks. The trucks have 3 springs, which is prototypically correct, and they are sprung. They have metal wheels, they have metal truck frames, and metal couplers, operating magnetic knuckle couplers. We'll flip this thing over and take a look at the underside, and there you can see the correct circular openings on the bottom of the floor, as well as a little spider web there, cobweb, whatever you want to call it. And you have the correct cross braces at the end of the car. And that's really all there is going on the underside of the car. There's not a whole lot of detailing. If we take a look at the container, you'll see there's some really nice rivet detailing on the side of this thing. The underside has the appropriate detailing for what I'm aware of for an intermodal container. The end of the container has all the appropriate markings, so far as I can tell. Now, unlike the Lionel containers, the doors on this are cast onto the body of the container, so they don't open. And then looking at this end of the container, you can see the container number, reporting marks, and of course the MAERSK on the front. And of course you have some more nice rivet detailing. Looking at the top, you see the locking pins, which those are not necessarily prototypically correct, but we're doing it for operational ease, I guess you could call it. The container is held in place in the car by gravity. If I turned this car upside down and did not hold on to that container, it would just slip right on out. We're going to set this container aside for just a second so we can look at the top of the car, the decking, and you can see some of the details. Use the container to prop it up. So you can see the inside deck of the car is nice and smooth, which the real ones are as well. There's no ribbing or anything like that on the inside of the deck. You have the emergency and service reservoir as well as the triple valve here. On the other end of the car, you have the handbrake. Both ends of the car have these kingpin hitches, and you also have this simulated perforated decking. It's not actually perforated all the way through, it's just little indentions to simulate the perforations of the deck. And I'm going to attempt to zoom in here so you can get a better view on that. It's a cool effect, and I really wish that they were actually see-through decks like on my Lionel double stacks, but hey, it is what it is. And either way, the total effect, these cars are really cool looking cars. And you can see with my hand there just how long this thing is. So that is one of that in addition to the higher level of detail than like a Lionel 027 or MTH Rail King Husky Stack. That's a good indication that this is actually a scale car. Now there's really nothing going on the ends of the car that's worth really showing off or trying to show off. Some of the operating features of this car. The body is a durable ABS plastic, which is kind of standard fare for MTH. These grab irons here are cast on, they're not separately applied, so there's really nothing, there, I guess, to talk about. And the cars are meant to operate on curvatures of 054 and greater. So what that means is, for those of you who are new to the O-gauge hobby or are unfamiliar with the hobby, the two rail guys, they like to measure stuff in radius. The O-gaugers, we like to measure in circumference. So what that means is a circle of track with a circumference of 54 inches or greater. In two rail speak, that would be a 27-inch radius curve. These couplers are your standard magnetic operating knuckle couplers. So you have this thumbtack looking disc here that's meant for an electromagnet like you would find on a Lionel magnetic uncoupling track section or similar product. With that, you can position the car over that magnet. That magnet will energize when you push the button to close the circuit, and it will pull this disc down, dropping the pin from the coupler body, allowing the knuckle to swing open. If you don't have the proper track section for that, no worries. There's this little tab here on the side of the coupler body. You push down on it and the knuckle opens. So this thing, like I said, is meant for 054 curvature and greater, which means that the 072 curvature of main track 1 on the South Texas Railroad should be absolutely zero problem for this car. I've got a short stack train made up, and we are going to send this guy around the railroad so y'all can see how it does.